Hi, welcome to Inside the Scary Mind of a Writer, and I'm Adina Lev, the writer. This is episode 38 of my ongoing blog series of getting my name out there and lending a voice to my books so that when you're reading my books, hopefully you're reading my books, you will hear my voice and understand the sarcasm that's intended in the sentences that sometimes I can't adequately get across. I'm sure you've done that on a sentence. You've read it and said, well, maybe the writer meant it a different way, and then you put a different spin on it in your head with the different connotations in the voice, and you're like, oh, that's what they meant. Okay. One of my editors, Hilly J, she is awesome. I've talked about her before. She makes me the better writer that I want to be. She's always harping on me about tense. Make it in the past tense. Unless it's a present tense book, make it in the tense. Tense, 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 tense. I'm reading a book and I'm ready to throw this book into the garbage because they keep going between the third person and the first person, past tense, present tense. And I understand now what she means when she's harping on me about tenses. And then again, the writer in this book, I like the way he does it because it's the same way I do it, not the tenses. The dialogue. That's another thing that drives me crazy about some writers, even JD Robb, hail JD Robb. She I have to go back and see who said what because it wasn't clear about who was doing the sentence in the dialogue, and that makes me crazy. So I do find myself in some areas I will put the person who said it, but I will make it clear even though I go person A, how are you? Person B, I am fine. Well, what are you doing here? Well, I can't. You know who is asking the questions, and I change who is doing the speaking. I make sure I put an assignment, she said, Veronica said, he said, to that sentence so you're not confused at who is doing the talking and who is saying what. That is the crazy part. But I want to finish this reading this book, even though it has taken me forever. It's starting to become a Grisham book. Back this train up a little bit. Why do I say Grisham book? I read John Grisham. I used to read John Grisham. And I read The Chamber. It took me 2 weeks to read that book. And after I read that book, I wanted 2 weeks of my life back because I'm a voracious reader. I will sit down and read a book and just read, 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 and absorb, absorb, absorb until I shut everything out. I'm not allowed to read when my husband is home because, hold on, he's not draconian like that. No, I don't like to ignore people. And when I'm reading, I become so absorbed into the book that I forget anything else is out there. The house could be burning down, and I would not know it until I looked up if I smelled smoke or I heard the dogs barking. Then would be, oh, the house is on fire. Many, many years ago, we've been married 3 decades now. Back early in our relationship, it, the husband comes out and he says, starts talking to me, and I'm so into this book, I don't even hear him. And he hits my foot. Hey, are you okay? Yeah. I said, don't do that to me. I thought you were having a seizure or something. I'm sorry. I just got so involved in the book. So I try not to read when anybody, not just the husband, but anybody is around where they may require my attention. Anybody else like that? Yeah, it's a problem I have. I don't even bother putting on headphones when I'm on a plane or earbuds or anything because I just get so absorbed into a book before I know it. Oh, the flight's over, ma'am. Are you buckled in? We're landing. So that's what I love, books that I can do that. And that's the kind of writer I want to be. I want the person to get so involved in the story that they can't wait to get back to it or they can't wait to be into this story. They don't want to put it down. And to me, that's a sign of a good writer. It's when I don't want to leave that world that they've created. And I find myself, I do that with a series. The Dead Witch Walking series. Deborah Harrison, I think. Either way, doesn't matter. I will get back to that one in a minute. You know what? I'm going to pause right here so that I can go find out the name of that. I'm looking for the pause button. Hold on. I just Googled it. Can you tell? Kim Harrison. If you have not read her series, please start because I could not wait for the next book. I wanted all of them. And then I read them. The last book, spoiler alert, was depressing because A, I felt that it was rushed, even though she tied up all the loose ends. I felt it was a rushed ending. But on the other hand, I liked the ending. It was the happy ending, and I was upset that it was over. You ever do a series like that? Not just a book series, but a TV series. I was watching Haven, and it's based on a Stephen King novel, and it went for 5 seasons, and I binged watched over the period of 2 weeks all of them. And I felt a void in my life when the series was over. I was hurt. Even though it tied up all the loose ends, there was the happy ending. I wanted more. And that's what I like about books. They take you to it, they transport you, and you want to know what happens next. A good writer makes you want to know what happens next, what happened later. And so that is Kim Harrison, Dead Witch Walking, starts the series, and I was amazed by her abilities to have such an imagination and to answer all the questions. And sometimes it does move fast, and you got to go back a little bit to reread it to act out the action in your brain. But it's great. It's fun. It makes your brain work, and that's what I love. And that's what I do in my books. I am having a hard time matching the action that I did in Indian law and I did in My Family is Everything. And so now I'm not the victim, or I will not be your victim. Still toying with those words. I'm finding myself getting drawn into it and at the same time trying to think of a twist that you don't see coming. And I think I've got it pretty good on this chapter now, yeah. So I'm going to put a link to all my books in there at the bottom of this page. And if you are, I don't know why I'm looking at the sky. I do know why I'm looking at the sky. Here in North Carolina, last week we were in shorts for 3 days. We had 70s and up into the 80s in the weather. And today, 2 days later, it is in the 30s and it looks like it wants to rain. They're not calling for snow, so I'm goodly that way. But I keep looking and like, oh, maybe I should bring in some more firewood. So this has been Inside the Scary Mind of a Writer. It is a day late just because, well, yesterday we deemed it pajama day, did not leave the Hermitage at all, put on the fireplace, watched movies, binged, watched movies, knitting, did not get out of the pajamas. It was that kind of day. So episode 39 will be coming soon, I hope. I don't know, we're on a stork watch right now. Daughter number one is due any minute. I know I said that last week, but it's still any minute. So, this has been Inside the Scary Mind of a Writer. I'm Adina Lev, the writer. If you like this, big thumbs up, share it. If you didn't like it, thumbs down, share it. Tell me why, ask a question. And I must say hello to my loyal viewers. Hi, Lex. Hi, Judy. Yes, those two I know are the loyal ones because, well, they know who they are. You guys have heard me talk about Judy. And to my other kids who sometimes, who Sam watches this all the time. She says that's so she can guarantee that I was at least having an alibi. Okay, no, she doesn't say, well, yeah, she does say, what's your alibi this week? Because goodness only knows. So I will be babbling at this camera again next week, and I hope you are not shaking your head too bad. This has been Adina Lev, Inside the Scary Mind of a Writer. Bye now.